beautiful sunny day, something of a rarity these days throughout the IHSAA softball season. It's been a rainy week the previous week. Well, we have nothing but sunshine here in Pendleton, Indiana, as the Arabians of Pendleton Heights get set for a big HHC matchup against the Mount Vernon Marauders. Good evening, everybody. I'm Kurt Darling. Thank you so much for joining us here inside of Legends Field as the Arabians getting set for a big stand when it comes to conference games. After all, they have had to make up a couple of conference games because they've been rained out the previous week. This will be the first of 6 in a row that they have going into the following week. There you see Shelby Messer. She'll be getting the nod tonight on the circle for the Pendleton Heights Arabians from head coach Rob Davis. So far, a 4-1 record this season, has not pitched a full game since Frankton back on April 25th. That was a 15-4 win for the Arabians, so she will be getting the nod tonight. In 36 innings pitched this season, she has an ERA of .270. Leading off tonight for the Marauders will be Ainsley Bear. Ainsley Bear going to be doing a little bit of everything this season. She's playing center field tonight. The sophomore batting .133 on the season. As a team this season, the Marauders batting only .255. That's a little bit down from what they've had in previous years. Granted, they don't have a single senior listed on the roster. And we're underway here at Legends Field. And just a little bit high and outside, ball one for Shelby Messer. Messer still looking a little high and outside there, going high again, ball two. 2-0 the count here for Bear. Messer getting the nod tonight over Eliza Finley, who's getting a little bit of rest tonight. 11-2 on the season is the junior pitcher who usually sees the majority of the reps in the circle, and there's a nice heater right down the middle for Messer to get her first strike of the ball game. 2-1 the count. And there's a bouncing ball to third base, easily fielded, and out number one into the hands of Caitlin Goodwin, playing first base tonight. Nicely done by Bryn Libler, who's getting the nod at third base tonight over Caroline DeRoff, who is usually in the helm at that position. She's going to be getting a little bit of rest tonight. So one away here as now. Nicely fielded there. Moving on with the order, Maya Fields playing right field tonight. And she pops it up along the third base line, and nicely read there by Chloe Gregory to get a quick out number two for the Arabians. 2 away early here in the top of the first. Get another look at it as Gregory waves off Libler. And 2 quick outs away here to start things off here. A good start for the Arabians on the defensive end. Shelby Rakowski now in the batter's box here for the Marauders. Playing shortstop tonight, a career batting average .372. Impressive, just a little bit up on that for the season at .381. High and outside, ball two. There for Messer. Shelby Rakowski, 5 RBIs this season, second on the team in on-base percentage, so she knows how to get on the base from the third position in the lineup. High pop-up fly in between right and center field, and it is easily corralled by Kenzie Green. 1-2-3 for Pendleton Heights as they will go to the bottom of the first, looking to try and keep the offense rolling. Getting underneath it there is Green. Kenzie Green getting the nod tonight in right field. Again, one of those utility players for the Arabians all season long. The Arabians as a team so far this year batting an astounding .376 as a team. They have 26 home runs on the year, so a stout offense coming into this one and throughout the rest of the season. There's certainly a reason why they are 15-3 on the year. Only 4-3 in conference play, though, or rather 1-1 in conference play. They have yet to get 6 more games again later on this week. So now in the circle for the Marauders is going to be Victoria Jensen, getting her first start of the season tonight. She has 22 innings pitched overall this season, but has been mostly in a relief situation. Has a 3.50 ERA. Of course, that's skewed because she gave up 8 runs in the season opener in a relief effort against Columbus East. And up first in the batter's box for the Arabians will be Kaya Hubble. Hubble playing left field tonight. Career batting average of .405, .468 on the season. So this sophomore certainly knows how to put it in play when she has to from the leadoff position. Still has yet to get a home run this season. Granted, when you're batting first, you're not typically told to push for home runs. You're told to get on base, and that's certainly what she knows how to do. Second on the team in runs scored this season as well. Behind the plate for the Marauders is Easton Wampler, a sophomore. And here we go into the bottom of the first here at Legends Field. Drew Fithian playing up close here in the infield for the Marauders. And a bouncing ball along the third base line just goes foul before it reaches the third base bag. So Hubble will have to come back and try again here. And a strike goes on the board. And you can see why they're playing her up close. Just trying to get a sacrifice up onto the bag to get a player on base. 0-1 the count for Victoria Jensen. Jensen just going a little bit outside there, ball 1. These two teams are certainly very familiar with each other. 2-2 for both of these teams in the last 4 meetings. And there's a nice fly ball to the back of the fence. That's going to be multiple bases, and that is going to be a leadoff double for Kaya Hubble. Nicely done. That is her second double of the season right there. Good contact just going to the inside on the pitch there from Jensen. And pushing it a little bit too far there for Alexis Beeler. And now you see Haley Brunemer. Again, another career 370-plus batter. She's batting .407 on the season, 5 home runs. And there's a nice fly ball, a line drive into right field, and that is going to score a runner. And a big second RBI double, or rather RBI single for Haley Brunemer. Her 20th RBI on the season right there, getting it 1-0 early here for the Arabians. That's also the 50th double as a team this season for Pendleton Heights. So a runner on first as we see Caroline DeRuff as the flex player here today. And she grounds it to second. Double play coming likely. And she just beats the throw. Good base running there by DeRuff. So the out goes on the board here for Brunemer. But the Arabians keep a player on first base here with DeRuff.
Now batting the catcher, number 13, Kylie Ryan.
Nicely done there by DeRuff. Kylie Ryan now batting cleanup here for the Arabians. And just one of the best all-around players on this Arabian squad. 5 home runs this season. Gets on base over 50% of the time she's at the plate. And just catching the outside corner is Jensen. Kylie Ryan going to be playing at Butler next season. Of course, certainly seeing wide, and there's a juggled pitch by Wampler, and that's going to advance the runner on first to second, so Duroff will take the bag, and now another runner in scoring position for the Arabians.
Base hit to score another one.
Kylie Ryan has not struck out at all this season. Just going a little bit outside for Ryan. 2 balls, 1 strike on the count here for Jensen. Of course, Pendleton played Frankton earlier this season. Coach Jeremy Parker acknowledging why Kylie Ryan's a Division I softball player. Of course, at Butler next season, having an excellent season this year, setting a conference record in wins. And she'll be joining a very, very tough squad in the Big East next year. 3-1 the count here for Jensen. And outside, ball 4, so Ryan will take the bag, putting 2 runners on here in the bottom of the first. Moving through the order now, as we'll see a pinch runner coming in for Ryan. And so that'll be Kylie Fisher who will be taking over the base running duties for Ryan. Shortstop Chloe Gregory now at the plate. Gregory 382 on the season, 465 for the career, 4 home runs this season. Inside, and just a little contact, pop up into center field. It gets onto the ground. Runners have to advance, and all 3 runners are safe. And so a finesse pop-up fly there by Chloe Gregory loads the bases for the Arabians. So no pressure to say the least here, as you have Bo Shelton at the plate.
Get yourself 4 RBIs here.
No grand slams at all this season for the Arabians. Jensen taking her time. And just a little bit off the outside corner. Bo Shelton, the second baseman. 7 home runs this season. That's leading this particular lineup this season. 18 RBIs. And Wampler throwing the runners back onto their bags as the count hits 2-0 here for Jensen. Jensen trying to pitch herself out of a pickle here as she still only has 2 outs to go. And the ball bounces foul just off the front of the batter's box. So strike takes the board, 2-1 the count, 1 out away. And as I was talking about earlier, these 2 teams very familiar with each other. Pendleton has won the last 2 times in the regular season, but Mount Vernon has won the last 2 times in the postseason in sectional play. So both of these teams certainly know each other very well, and despite the difference in the record, as Mount Vernon comes into this contest 6-6 on the year, Pendleton Heights 15-3, these 2 certainly know how to battle. Right down the middle on the pitch, and it's fouled off by Shelton. So a loaded count here for Shelton. Again, right down the middle from Shelton, fouled off again. So 2 straight fouls here now from Shelton, trying to work the count. And outside ball 4, she walks in a runner. 2-0 on the score here for Jensen. And so now the question is, will Coach Victoria Kirby elect to stay with Jensen here and despite this pickle and try to keep Grace Hines on the bag to give her some rest? Bryn Libler at the plate, playing third base today. And there is a line drive, and it is out of here. First grand slam on the year for the Pendleton Heights Arabians comes from the bat of Bryn Libler. What a play. And you gotta love to see that. 6-0 on the board already. And certainly not the start that the Marauders wanted as you take a look at that again. Good contact and had some room to spare getting past the warning track.
Now batting at third baseman, number 3, Bryn.
So 18 games into the season, better late than never to get a grand slam. And now we keep moving through the order as Kenzie Green will come on. And working just a little bit outside, catches a piece of it down the third base line and fouled out. Kenzie Green batting just .294 on the season. Still has 5 hits. And didn't see much action against Connorsville in the previous game. And just a little bit inside. And a little too far inside ball 1. Pendleton Heights and this offensive juggernaut ranked 6th in the state. Of course, have had a very tough schedule, including the big powerhouse Roncalli, ranked number 1 in the state, but also number 1 nationally. Of course, that was a good slugfest, 10-6, the final score in that one. Contact by Green, popped up, and it falls again. And extra bases for the second double of the inning for Pendleton Heights. So needless to say, Pendleton Heights has busted this one open as Coach Davis will not take a pinch runner, instead keep Green on the bags.
Batting the right fielder, number 2, Kenzie Green.
And a couple pitches resulting in strikes. One by foul here for Jensen. And another one fouled off, still working the count, is Kenzie Green at the plate. So Bryn Libler standing on second base at the moment. And high and outside, ball 1. Victoria Jensen having a tough inning here, has yet to get a strikeout. And she gets it right there. Her first strikeout of the game, her 14th on the season. And a long-awaited out number 2 for the Marauders. So we get back to the top of the batting order here as Kaya Hubble, the sophomore, will come up to bat for the second time in the inning. Hubble had a leadoff double to get the inning going. Runner still on second base here with Libler. Jensen sends it in, and it is hit on the neck of the bat, and they're going to call a foul ball on the line. So that's going to be bringing back Hubble again as the Marauders try to struggle to get this out, this third and final out, to put this, needless to say, inning they'd like to forget here in the first. Just rolling foul there before it gets to the bag. And a swing and a miss by Hubble. 2 strikes on the board as Jensen maybe starting to get a little bit of a rhythm here late in the first. And just a little bit outside the outside corner, ball 2. 2-2 on the board, 2 outs away. And again off the neck of the bat and an easy out. And the Marauders finally put this one away as we go to inning number 2. Back in a minute on NineStar TV and the ISC Sports Network.
When moving into a new home, we ask ourselves questions like, who is the best internet provider in town? Well, have you considered locally owned NineStar Connect? We've become the fastest, most reliable, and dedicated fiber-to-the-home internet company in central Indiana. Our internet packages have been modified, and we are changing speeds at a more competitive price. So give us a look. Visit us at NineStarConnect.com. NineStar is a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Who knew that NineStar Connect, a local smart utility, has the fastest internet in Indiana? NineStar offers speeds up to 2 gig. That's upload and download speeds. Try getting that from any other provider. No data limits or caps on speed. The speed you pay for is the speed you get. NineStar has state-of-the-art fiber optics with a dedicated line to each house. NineStar Connect, Indiana's fastest internet. Who knew?
Beautiful shot of Legends Field here in Pendleton, Indiana, as we get set to work inning number 2 here on NineStar TV and the ISC Sports Network. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kurt Darling. There you see Coach Rob Davis, 15-3 in his first year as the head coach of Pendleton Heights. As the Marauders going to try and make a dent in this 6-0 advantage built by the Arabians in the first inning. Messer back on the circle as there's a high fly ball. And Haley Brunemer coming up to field that to put one away. And Pendleton Heights just showing how stout they are on both sides of the ball here, putting up a lot of offense and suffocating on defense at the moment. Drew Fithian, the third baseman, now at the plate here for the Marauders. Fithian, 2 home runs on the season. And she's kind of going through a batting slump at the moment. She is 1 for her last 12 at-bats. And high and inside, ball 2 for Messer. Messer has yet to strike any batters out here today as another pop fly. Again, Brunemer coming up, out number 2. 2 away, all from the glove of Brunemer here in the early going in the top of the second. But Shelby Messer still has yet to get a strikeout tonight, but hasn't really needed to since the rest of her teammates have been able to come away with all that is needed. But still, season high 6 strikeouts this season. And so now at the plate is Grace Hines, who is usually the one taking the pitching duties for the Marauders. She has a 1.72 ERA, 6-4 record this season, but is playing first base tonight. And there's a line drive, and that'll be a base hit. And she will not take extra bases, but still finally, the Marauders finally get a player on the bag. As Victoria Jensen, the pitcher tonight, again struggled in the bottom of the first. Might try to get it back in a rhythm on the offensive end here, who will take the plate. Batting .219 this season with 5 RBIs. And Jensen swings at a high ball that's outside. And a strike goes on the board. Jensen, a junior. Of course, this Marauders team, a young squad. They do not have any seniors at all on their roster. And just catching the upper outside corner is Messer for strike number 2. And Jensen gets a piece of it, but fouls it out of play. So again, the sectional draw coming out just a couple of weeks ago. The Arabians going to be taking on Richmond in the opening round of sectionals. Meanwhile, Mount Vernon will be taking on Newcastle. And it's a very hotly contested sectional among all these teams, mostly HHC teams. And there is a bouncing ball. Another base hit just gets by the glove of Bo Shelton and advances the runner to second. Only a base hit, though, for Jensen. And so now the Marauders getting a little bit of rhythm on offense here as they put 2 on here with 2 outs away. So as we move through the order, Hannah Matthews, the sophomore, waiting for the go-ahead from the umpire. Matthews, only a 167 batter this season, but she has recorded at least 1 hit in 2 of her last 3 games that she's played. And a pitch right down the middle, but just missing it is Matthews, strike number 1. And popped up behind the plate, and it looks like the play is going to be to the glove of Ryan. And so the Marauders strand 2, but still show a little bit of sign of life on the offensive end as we go to the middle of the second inning. Still 6-0 on the scoreboard as the Arabians will try to add to their lead. Meanwhile, if you're Coach Victoria Kirby, you certainly try to talk down the jitters for Victoria Jensen, who gave up 6 runs in the early going. So here you take a look at the sectional draw here. You have Mount Vernon taking on Greenfield Central. Meanwhile, Pendleton Heights going to be taking on Richmond. Anderson and Muncie Central drawing the byes. So it's an all HHC draw in the first round, and then Anderson and Muncie Central await them. Again, a very tough sectional to get out of historically. Mount Vernon, the defending sectional champion from a year ago. Meanwhile, taking a look at the Hhc Conference Standings. Now, just to keep in mind, they're a little bit skewed because a couple of teams haven't had to get their conference games out of the way because of weather. They've been rained out, so the Arabians only playing 2 conference games so far this season. They sit down in a tough 6th place, but that's expected to change as we move through the rest of the season. Again, they have, including this one, 6 conference games in a row. Meanwhile, Jensen takes her place back in the circle here, as she will be taking on at the plate Haley Brunemer here in the 2nd position of the order. And Brunemer fouls it away, and a strike takes the board. Brunemer 2nd on the team in hits this season. She's also tied for 2nd in runs scored. She scored 18 times. She had an RBI single in the top of the 1st, or in the bottom of the 1st, rather. One and one pitch fouled off again by Brunemer. So the Arabians kind of fouling their way into a little bit of trouble here batting-wise over the last few at-bats or so, giving Jensen a little bit of confidence after that dismal start. Jensen so far 1 strikeout tonight. And another foul ball. And it nearly bounces off our own NineStar truck. Just a little bit too far. So 1-2 stays the count. 6-0 on the board here for Pendleton Heights. Jensen now working her 7th pitch here of this at-bat. And now there is a fly ball outside and easily corralled by Maya Fields for the Marauders. And out number 1 is away here in the top of the 2nd, or the bottom of the 2nd. Again, another look at it, just right into the glove of Fields. Didn't have to move too much. So Caroline Duroff back up. Nearly been just beat out a double play in the 1st inning for a single to advance, and now there's another bouncing ball to 3rd and the throw out to 1st, and another good catch there by Grace Hines to get out number 2. So the Marauders looking a little bit more stout, a little bit more focused here defensively here in the 2nd. They have not given up a run despite giving up 6 in the 1st inning. So Kylie Ryan, again, was walked last time. This time she's able to get on base upon her own merit as she grounds one right into left center for a base hit. Kylie Ryan swings very confidently. And again, we'll have another pinch runner come in. Kylie Ryan gets on base. And Kylie Fisher, one Kylie for another, will take over the base running duties. So Chloe Gregory now at the plate, the shortstop. One of many players to get on base. And Jensen puts it on the outside corner, fly up, and calling for it is Fields to get out number 3. So after giving up 6th in the 1st, only 0 in the 2nd, as the Marauders will take back to the bat, going to the top of the 3rd here on NineStar TV and the ISC Sports Network.
3, 2, 1. has the first dunk in the building. From Joya waits, Waddell finishes and lays it in.
There is right now the
Nice
play of the game.
move. Better finish.
Good.
We might see that on plays of the week. Great feed. The finish. Spin, win, three. Bury it in the lane. No, gun, yes. Stop. Whoa, what a play. Flying in.
At NineStar Connect, our history spans back to the late 1800s, where family time, building livelihoods and neighborhoods, sharing stories of the day, and looking forward to chasing new dreams were important to all of us. Today, NineStar still values these things. That's why we have a local 24/7, 365 support center. We are still here for you, as it's been for the past 125 years. At NineStar Connect, we're a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
Good start tonight for Rob Davis's crew for Pendleton Heights in his 12th season as the head coach. Welcome back to Legends Field. I'm Kurt Darling as the Pendleton Heights Arabians have a 6-0 advantage. All 6 runs coming in the bottom of the first inning. Now the Marauders still trying to respond. They stranded 2 the previous inning, as Alexis Beeler comes back to the plate for her second go-round. Again, batting 179 on the year. And we're actually at the bottom of the order, so this is her first time batting here tonight, as she grounds the ball along the left field line and just foul ball. Talked about the history between these two teams. Of course, 2-2 apiece here over the last 4 meetings, but overall, Mount Vernon 3 of 7 over the last 10 meetings with Pendleton Heights. And as I mentioned before, 2 of those 3 coming in sectional play. Solid night pitching so far here for Shelby Messer. And there's a grounder to the third, just gets by the glove of Bryn Libler, and that allows a base hit.
Back to the top of the batting order with center fielder number 2, Ainsley Bear.
So that might be going down as an error for Bryn Libler there at third base. So the E1 gets the runner on base as we go back to the top of the order for the Marauders. Ainsley Bear again was unable to get on base, part of that 1-2-3. This time she's going for the bunt, and the sacrifice bunt will advance Beeler to second base and put a runner in scoring position for the second time here today for the Marauders. That's the 7th sack bunt this season for the Marauders. Maya Fields, again part of that 1-2-3, 3 up, 3 down inning in the first, as she just chips it out of play for a foul ball, strike number 1. Again, still Messer able to have a solid pitching night so far, despite the fact that she has not gotten a single strikeout yet. There's a pop fly into center field. Brunimer has to come up for it. Instead, she will yield to Bo Shelton, the second baseman, and that'll be out number 2. Bo Shelton had to cover a lot of ground to go get that one, but a wise decision to wave off her teammates. And 2 outs now on the board. And a little bit wild outside there from Messer, ball number 1. And there you see Alexis Beeler standing on second base as Shelby Rakowski tries to advance her. And that's going to be a foul tip off the neck of the bat. Rakowski wasn't able to get on base in her first at-bat. So far this season, batting .381. One triple so far this year. Letting that one go, a good call as it's outside ball number 2. So Mount Vernon 6-6 coming into this contest, have seen better days. They had 3 seasons in a row where they had over 20 wins. Last year advancing to the semi-state. But so far, the last time that Mount Vernon finished below 500 in a season was back in 2017 when they went 10-14. As Messer working the count here, full count. As Rakowski with a runner on second. Pops it up along the left field line, and just out of the reach and into the sun was Bryn Libler. It had to yield that one, and we keep this at-bat going. Again, you're just looking right up into the sun on that one. Probably lost it. An awkward angle to try and make that play. So Rakowski's still alive here. This time, keeps it in play. Pop up, and another fly out to close the inning for Bo Shelton. So the Arabians, again, force the Marauders to strand one. That's 3 stranded batters so far here tonight for Mount Vernon. As there's still goose eggs, 3 goose eggs over 3 innings for Mount Vernon. Meanwhile, the Arabians still enjoying that 6-0 cushion that they built here in the bottom of the first. A good crowd on hand here at Legends Field. And a beautiful day for some softball. Meanwhile, the Pendleton Heights baseball team in action as well, right next door to us. So, little simultaneous doubleheader action here in Pendleton, Indiana. So Jensen will still be on the circle here for the Marauders going into inning number 3. Again, a look over at the score here for the Pendleton Heights baseball team at Bill Stott Field. Right now the Arabians down 4-0 early. And there you see Jensen getting some words of wisdom from her teammates. Grace Hines, one of them. Of course, Grace Hines, the regular pitcher for the Marauders, getting some rest here tonight for her arm. She has 71 strikeouts on the season and 57 innings pitched. So you can understand why she's getting a much-deserved rest at first base here this evening. Bottom of the third. And there's a nice line drive ball there by Bo Shelton. And she's able to get on base. Bo Shelton had a heck of an at-bat last time.
Number 7, Caitlin Goodwin.
And so now Caitlin Goodwin. And so Caitlin Goodwin had the grand slam in the first inning to give to that helped inflate that 6-0 advantage for the Arabians. Bo Shelton winding up there on the bag. And there's a nice shot right there, right to the shortstop, but the throw to first goes wild, trying to get to second, and it's a free bag for Bo Shelton, who takes advantage of the wild throw past the first baseman. And Grace Hines couldn't quite get her glove around that one. And that's a free bag to put a runner in scoring position here for the Arabians. So Bryn Libler back up here at the plate. So far, one away with a runner on second. And catching the outside corner, high fly ball is going to fall. No, it goes out of the glove, and that will advance the runner to third base, Bo Shelton, as Alexis Beeler couldn't quite get the glove underneath it. We'll take a look at that here again. She had the feet on it. And Maya Fields is just a little short. And so now you have a runner on first, as it looks like they got the runner out at third. Because she didn't tag up Bo Shelton, so that just leaves the runner on first base here for out number 2, though. So not all bad there on that sequence, but still, you like to make that catch. Jensen popping it up, out number 3. So the Marauders survive a little bit of an onslaught from the Arabians. As we go to inning number 4, 6-0 is still on the scoreboard on NineStar TV and the ISC Sports Network.
My name is Patty Potty, and I'd like to talk to you about all those kinds of convenience products. People are flushing down the toilet, clogging up our sewer system, and causing expensive repair bills. They might flush down, but they sure don't flush out. Make sure you trash them. Don't flush them, only flush the 3 P's. Pee, poo, and paper. Toilet paper, that is. And remember, no wipes in those pipes.
This important message was brought to you by NineStar Connect, your water and sewer provider.
The innocence of youth. Is there anything any better? But soon they'll be in high school and facing all the same challenges you faced. How to make friends, how to fit in, how to be cool. We want our children to have everything they'll need to live fulfilling and productive lives. Make sure the kids in your family are among the more than 160,000 participants here in Indiana who take part in high school sports.
We're about halfway home here in Legends Field. 6-0 is your score here for the Arabians of Pendleton Heights leading Mount Vernon. There you see Coach Veronica Kirby of Mount Vernon in her 5th in the last 5 seasons, 83 and 35 in that span, including a trip to the semi-state round just a year ago. So as we keep with the order here for Mount Vernon, the catcher Easton Wampler now at the plate working 2 balls. Again, Wampler only a sophomore, batting .400 on her career, .378 this season, 1 home run so far this year. And there is a nice pitch right down the middle for Shelby Messer. Again, Messer no strikeouts so far, but still pitching a very good game. And an outside ball at number 3. Wampler has only struck out 8 times this season, and she increases that chance of getting a 9th with that foul ball right there to make it a full count. Three-two pitch here from Messer, and another foul out of play by Wampler. Pendleton Heights on a 4-game win streak since losing to Avon 3-2 back on April 23rd. Of course, that was before the horrible stretch of weather that we had, as we get a third foul out of play by Wampler, keeping the at-bat alive here. Messer trying to put her away. A pop up, and they don't call for it, and that's going to be a base hit, as Messer got the call confused with Ryan. They didn't know who was going to grab it, and it hit right in between the catcher and the pitcher. You certainly don't see that every day. Again, both players waving each other off until Messer had to react at the last possible second. And so she gives up a runner. And as you can see here, Coach Rob Davis not happy with that sequence. Going to make sure that he keeps his players in check here as they get a little lax. So if you're Rob Davis, certainly making sure everybody has everything in order, and you get the right calls between each other as teammates. So far, still 6-0, trying to keep the goose egg on the scoreboard are the Arabians for the Marauders. And Jensen, low and inside, but just enough to get strike number one. Drew Fithian was able to get on base earlier tonight. And fouling it away again. Strike number two on the board. Jensen still looking for her first strikeout tonight. Instead, it's another foul ball away, and it flies in to the Mount Vernon dugout and just out of the reach of Caitlin Goodwin, who was there to try and make the play. We're just a little bit too deep into the dugout. Fithian just working two strikes. And an outside ball, number one. It's a stiff wind so far here today. It's blowing just a little bit westerly. There's a grounder to short, bobbled, late on the throw, and that's going to be another base hit for the Marauders. So the fielding, a little bit rusty here for Pendleton Heights, as Chloe Gregory couldn't quite get her glove on it and was a little bit late on that throw. And so runners on first and second again. So far the Marauders have stranded three batters tonight. And now Grace Hines, the freshman, going to try and bring at least one of these batters in, one of these runners in. So far, Messer working a shutout through an inning, or through 3 innings so far. And again, no outs away yet, as the foul tip goes away again. So Messer has been close to getting that elusive first strikeout of the night. Many times here, she has worked it up to 2 strikes, but has not been able to get anybody to swing. And that is a soft bouncer to second, opting fielder's choice to first. So that'll advance runners to second and third while getting out number one. But now the Marauders have a chance to break the shutout so far here through 3 innings.
Now batting number 19, the pitcher.
Nice heads-up play there by Bo Shelton in some traffic. Opting for the easy out at first. Victoria Jensen back at the plate. And inside, just inside enough to get that first strike. And so Victoria Jensen, despite giving up 6 runs as the pitcher for the Marauders in the first inning, has not given up a run since. And again, just working inside, awfully close. Strike number 2. Jensen kind of crowding the plate a little bit here. And just outside of that corner, ball number 1. Nearly 1-2-3 there for Messer. Swinging is Jensen. High fly ball into left field. Runner coming home. Nice throw and avoiding it as the out goes number 3. The double play on the sequence. What a catch there by Kylie Ryan, and an even better throw by Maya Fields. And that will end the top of the 4th. And the 0 stays on the board for the Marauders. Let's take a look at this play again. Fields, or rather, Kaya Hubble. I apologize for that mispronunciation there. Kaya Hubble with the throw, but Kylie Ryan getting an even better catch there. And that just goes to show you why she's going to be playing at Butler next season. Heads up and right in there, getting the tag. Very nicely done. So Kaya Hubble with the big throw, the sophomore, right all the way back to home plate. Don't forget, we have a lot more softball coming at you tomorrow. 5:30 p.m., the Arabians taking on Greenfield Central, their second Hhc Conference game in a row. You can catch that right here on NineStar TV and, of course, the ISC Sports Network. Meanwhile, we've got a little bit of action in the bullpen here as you see Eliza Finley, the normal starter for the Arabians, getting a little loose as we work through 4 innings here. 3.5 down as Jensen tries to keep the momentum that she's built going as we get over the hump in this one. Here's a nice changeup. And just a little outside. And checking the first base umpire. No swing. Ball number 1. Again, so far this year, Jensen, 22 innings pitched, a 3.50 ERA this year. Of course, that'll be a little bit inflated now, giving up 6 runs, but it's of note that she has not given up a run since. We're back at the top of the order here with Kaya Hubble. And Hubble trying to get a step on it. Outside, rather right down the middle, strike number 1. And Hubble trying to get the bounce off the bunt. Instead, it'll go foul. Strike number 2 takes the board here. As Hubble was certainly quick off of that bunt right there, but just couldn't quite get the angle on it. And swinging, going foul again down the left field line. Keeping the at-bat rolling. Here is Hubble. Again, batting .468 on the season. Hubble had a big leadoff double, but then struck out swinging in her second at-bat. So far, 1 for 2 tonight is she. Two pitch from Jensen. And that is a strike number 3. So 2 strikeouts in a row here for Kaya Hubble. Meanwhile, Jensen gets her second strikeout of the evening. So Jensen, in spite of giving up those 6 runs in the early going, she has really made it a little bit tough here for Pendleton Heights to keep the offense rolling. Keeping through the order, Haley Brunemer. And there's a nice whack right down center field and just in front of the scoreboard. Breaking a 2-inning stalemate, Haley Brunemer with the solo shot makes it a 7-0 ball game. Haley Brunemer getting her 6th home run of the season. And that will also be her 19th run scored. And she got all of this one. And it went off of the scoreboard. If you have a target to shoot for, that's certainly it right there. So Caroline Duroff going to try and follow up that big performance from Haley Brunemer. Right down the middle, Jensen, strike number 1. Take a look at that again. And there's a line drive into center field. It'll be fielded there by Bear, and a base hit coming for Duroff. Her second base hit of the night, making her 2 of 3 on the evening. Again, good contact. And Pendleton Heights starting to get the bat to heat up again. Meanwhile, Kylie Ryan has had an excellent night so far. Still 1 for 2 on the evening after she got walked in her first at-bat, then had a leadoff single to get on base in the second inning before she got stranded. Jensen trying to make Ryan bite there a little bit just on the outside corner, but Ryan is not buying it. One-0 pitch from Jensen. Change-up again. Ryan not biting again. 2-0 the count. Jensen a little rusty here, ball 3. Going up against Ryan. Certainly an intimidating presence here is Ryan. Batting .447 on her career, .367 this season. Finally, Jensen gets the strike down the middle, 3-1. Kylie Ryan again above 50% on-base percentage. So either way, she finds a way to get on base. And there you have it. Second walk of the night here for Kylie Ryan as she'll take her base on a walk. And we're expecting once again another pinch runner here. We'll see Kylie Fisher sub in for Kylie Ryan.
Courtesy running at first base, number 24, Kylie Fisher. At the plate, number 5, shortstop,
Chloe Gregory coming back again. So far, 4 home runs coming into this contest. But Had a double earlier on in the first inning before flying out in the third. Change up, strike number 1 by Jensen. Jensen has yet to record a win this season. She has 2 losses to her credit in 5 appearances. And Jensen making the swing happen from Gregory, strike number 2. Jensen looking for her 3rd K of the night. 2 on, 1 out. And outside ball number 1. And the runner's tag. Jensen again up top. And just outside again, ball number 2 on the top end of the strike zone. Jensen. Good contact there from Gregory. Long again. Home run number 3 for the Arabians. And that will make it a 10-0 ball game as 3 runners score. And a 3-run home run from Chloe Gregory. And so now we are at 10-0. And you see Coach Rob Davis might be making a few substitutions here in his lineup. 6 runs given up in the first inning by the Marauders, 4 here in the 4th. And also reminding you that per IHSAA rule, if a team is up by 10 runs at the end of the 5th inning, a 6th or 7th inning are not required.
Number 19, Avery Mollenkopf.
Been a couple times so far this season that Pendleton Heights have run-ruled a few opponents. Jensen still with 1 out on the board, and a swing and a miss. Therefore, Avery Mollenkopf, who's into the lineup now. So Mollenkopf going to be subbing in here for Bo Shelton in the lineup. And up top, ball number 1. It's certainly a frustrating day here today for Victoria Jensen. In position to get her 3rd loss of the season. Still looking for that elusive win. And a swing and a miss. Strike number 2. And they may have, Mollenkopf may have gotten a piece of that one. Still, strike goes on the board. One-two pitch from Jensen. And just out the outside corner, ball 2. So as we mentioned before, Pendleton Heights going to be taking on Greenfield Central tomorrow night to continue conference play that they have to make up. Meanwhile, Mount Vernon also going to be in action tonight as you see a strikeout swinging from Avery Mollenkopf. And the 3rd strikeout tonight for Victoria Jensen. So 2 away here for the Marauders here in the bottom of the 4th.
Now batting for the Arabians, number 11, Sydney Clark.
And so now you have Sydney Clark also into the lineup. Going to be taking over the first base position for Caitlin Goodwin. Caitlin Clark batting .500 on the season so far. 8 hits on 16 at-bats. Trying to make it 9 hits here is Clark, but instead gets thrown out as we once again move on. And the Marauders giving up 4 more runs to make it a 10-0 ball game as we go to the top of the 5th. Back in a minute on the NineStar TV and the IHC Sports Network.
At NineStar Connect, we're a different kind of utility. We're a nonprofit cooperative owned by our members, the friends and neighbors we serve. We work for you. So we're committed to delivering dependable and affordable electricity to over 17,000 homes, schools, and businesses. And we know the best internet service is all about speed and reliability. We deliver both over our high-speed fiber optic network throughout East Central Indiana. At NineStar Connect, we are a different kind of company, and the difference is you.
What rhymes with great?
Participate.
Where does greatness start? Here, in the classroom. On the diamond.
In the pool.
On the field.
Where will your greatness take you?
To better grades.
To more friends.
Yeah! Be great. Participate!
10-0 on the scoreboard here on NineStar TV and the IHC Sports Network. I'm Kurt Darling here at Legends Field in Pendleton, Indiana. A beautiful Monday afternoon for some softball here in southern Madison County. So the Pendleton Heights Arabians with a few lineup changes here. They're going to be keeping Messer in the circle here to keep the game rolling. Meanwhile, Goodwin still at first base, but they've made a couple changes in the batters lineup, as you had Avery Mollenkoff and Sidney Clark also pinch hitting coming in when the Arabians are on offense. Meanwhile, the Marauders going to try and just stop the bleeding here, probably avoid trying to be run ruled here as we go to the top of the 5th. And so Hannah Matthews will lead things off here to start the 5th inning. Again, Matthews has played in just 6 games this season, with a batting average of 167.
Leading off the top of the 5th inning for the Marauders, second baseman number 18, Hannah Matthews.
Meanwhile, Messer still has not gotten a strikeout so far this evening, but still working a shutout performance. He's given up 5 hits so far, but the fielding of the rest of her team has done the rest to keep them from scoring. Outside corner, strike number 1 for Messer. Messer looking for her 5th win of the season. This is her 6th start of the year. A 2.70 ERA coming into this one. High fly ball left field, having to come up and get it. There is Kaya Hubble, and she does with ease to get out number 1. And correction on that one, substitution in outfield, Gloria Richardson on the catch. Nicely done by Richardson, the junior, who's played in 14 games this season in a relief effort mostly. Squaring off now with Alexis Beeler is Messer, strike number 1. Beeler still trying to break a little bit of a hitting drought here. She has not recorded a hit in her last 4 games until coming in today when she got one to get on base earlier in the ball game. 2 strikes away here for Messer. Messer just going a little outside, ball 1. So the Marauders, if things hold the way they are, could possibly fall to 6-7 after this one. Next taking on Shenandoah tomorrow night in non-conference play. And that goes down the third base line and out of play. Keeping the at-bat alive here, getting an extra pitch, still 1-2 on the count. Of course, we talk about all the rain that we've had over the last week or so. In fact, both Pendleton Heights and Mount Vernon kind of joking on Twitter about how they could dock boats in the field with how much rain that there's been over the last couple of days, as there is a line drive ball down the left field line, and that'll be a base hit for Alexis Beeler. Again, getting a couple hits tonight, Beeler, after breaking a hitless drought over the first 4 games coming into this one. But both of these teams having to do a lot of field work over the last week with how much rain that we've had. There was a literal lake throughout the facility, both here and at Mount Vernon, that they had to pump out. Of course, the coach is saying they've literally had to vacuum the water away to get these fields ready to go for today's game. Nothing but dry sand out here tonight. Not a cloud in the sky, as you can see by that skyward ball into the glove of Chloe Gregory for out number 2. As another hitless streak there by Ainsley Bear at the top of the order.
Now batting for Marauders number 13, Maya Mcneely.
And so now we have Maya Mcneely, who's into the ball game, into the lineup for the Marauders. Coach Veronica Kirby making a few substitutions of her own. Mcneely this season not having the best of batting seasons in 8 games played. In fact, she has a batting average of .071. As you go, high ball 1 there for Messer. In fact, Mcneely only has 1 hit in 14 at-bats so far this year. Outside ball number 2 here for Mcneely. Of course, Mcneely only a sophomore, so has time to develop her offense. Inside ball 3 for Messer. So 3 straight balls for Messer might just put Mcneely on base here. Hasn't walked many batters tonight. Runner on first here for the Marauders. And just catching the outside corner, strike 1.
Another one. Make her use that back.
3-1 pitch here for Messer. And there's a nice connection by Mcneely going down, and that is going to be a hit for Mcneely. That will score a runner, and the Marauders finally get one on the board off of the bat from Maya Mcneely. What a shot there from the sophomore. Only her 2nd hit all season long, and it is a RBI double. Just getting past the glove of Richardson there at the foul post. And it just lands fair. And so Mcneely will have a pinch runner coming in for her, as you can see many of her teammates celebrating.
Shelby Rakowski.
So Maya Fields is into pinch run here for Mcneely, as Messer takes her first ball of the at-bat here. Squaring off with Shelby Rakowski. Again, another sophomore on this Marauders squad. And I mentioned it a couple times here this evening. This Mount Vernon team does not have a senior on the roster. They graduated the bulk of their offense a year ago. And off-speed pitch there for Messer gets the strike. So the last time these two teams played was in the sectional opening game, as there's a grounder with some heat into center field, another base hit, and that's going to be a double with the long throw to home. Gives her a little bit of more room, and Rakowski finally gets on base. with a big double. And so the Marauders, again, with a couple runners in scoring position. They've negated the run rule at the moment with that big RBI double from Mcneely.
Now batting number 7, catcher, Easton Wampler.
And still Messer, you got to give a tip of the cap to her, going 4 innings without giving up a run in her first start since a while, and looks like she's poised to pitch her first full game since April 25th in a win against Franklin. Or rather, Frankton, excuse me. Strike number 1 here for Messer as she goes against the catcher, Easton Wampler. Wampler with a high fly ball that will score a runner. Possibly. No, it does not. That is the 3rd out as the Pendleton Heights Arabians get out of a little bit of a pickle as they force the Marauders to strand 3 runners, but the Marauders give up 1 run off of this big shot from Mcneely. As you see the big catch taken there by Haley Brunimer. Brunimer certainly has been busy in center field this evening. A lot of hits have gone her way from the bat of the Marauders. Once again, I'm Kurt Darling. Thank you so much for joining us here on NineStar TV and the ISC Sports Network for some IHSAA softball action. Taking a look at this shot from Mcneely again. This was what scored the run and broke the stalemate for the Marauders, and it just slipped through the glove of Richardson. And she had to pick it up for the extra base hit there for Mcneely. Mcneely's first double of the season, her first RBI of the season. And so you see a conference in the circle at the moment among the pitching staff for the Marauders. It looks like it will still be Jensen as the pitching staff still awaiting the decision from Coach Veronica Kirby. Again, Veronica Kirby, 83 wins over her last 5 seasons as the head coach of the Marauders. So Jensen will still be in the circle. As you see, Coach Veronica Kirby there again has built an excellent program at Mount Vernon. Of course, a lot of the credit for not just the softball program for Coach Veronica Kirby, but also athletics in general at Mount Vernon has really been built up over the last few seasons under the previous football coach and strength and conditioning coach, Mike Kirshner, before he decided to part ways with Mount Vernon and take a job at his alma mater at Warren Central. But still, Mount Vernon has built into a force in athletics, not just in softball, but in many sports. As Jensen going against the left-handed hitter here. And Bryn Libler. Libler, 289 on the year. Already has a couple of hits tonight. $12 hits as a team so far this evening for Pendleton Heights. And make it 13 as Libler with a nice grounder into center field for a base hit. Keeping the offense rolling here for the Arabians. Jensen so far 3 strikeouts tonight as she'll go up once again here against Elena Smith into the lineup for the first time this evening. Smith, a .222 hitter. Only 2 hits on the year on 9 at-bats. Low ball 1 there for Jensen. There you see Libler again on first base. That was the 13th at-bat, or 13th hit, rather. And haven't seen a whole lot of base stealing attempts here this evening, but Libler certainly looks poised to do so, taking a 3-point stance in her base running. A unique technique to try and get a jump on the pitch. Jensen outside ball number 3. So 3 straight pitches, 3 balls. And Jensen finally gets it inside for strike number 1. And there's a short grounder, and that's going to get through the glove of the second baseman, Hannah Matthews. And that's going to be an infield base hit. Advancing the runner to second and in scoring position. Nicely played there by Elena Smith to get her 3rd hit of the year. And just a bad bounce right into the glove. Certainly difficult play there. Back to the top of the order, Kaya Hubble. And Hubble going for the sacrifice bunt. Fielder's choice to first gets out number 1, but that advances runners to second and third as Pendleton Heights tries to get back above that 10-run rule here in the bottom of the 5th. Again, the 5th inning is the threshold for the run rule to take effect here in IHSAA softball play. Haley Brunemer, batting second all night tonight, has had a heck of a night, an RBI and a home run this evening. Of course, that solo shot coming in the bottom of the 4th, which sparked a 4-run rally for the Arabians at that juncture. Jensen trying to get the swing from Brunemer, but does not get it quite, and that will stay ball number 2. Give a tip of the cap to the officials tonight here, and they're going to call a strike, it looks like, on that. So they appeal to the field umpire, and that will be called a strike on a swing. So that will be a 1-1 count here for Jensen. Bouncing ball to third base, and getting caught up on the fielder's choice decision there is Drew Fithy, and she couldn't quite decide where to go, and that now loads the bases for the Arabians. So she got the play on the ball, but just couldn't quite decide who was going where. Looked to third, looked to first, then back to third again, and by the time she could have made a decision, it was too late. So Fithian freezing in the field puts the runners on first, second, and third as Gloria Richardson comes up to bat. Outside ball 1 there from Jensen. Gloria Richardson, .333 on the year batting average, 2 of 6 overall. One of those hits was a double. Bases loaded here for Richardson. And a swing and a hard miss from Richardson. And that pitch certainly had some heat on it there from Jensen. I will say this, Jensen has kept the batting honest from Pendleton Heights tonight. And just a little outside, ball number 2. Just ever so outside the strike zone. Ooh, and a check swing, and they're going to call it a swing. And Coach Rob Davis is not exactly happy with that decision right there from the umpire. We take a look at the replay. That looks awfully close. But no replay in IHSAA softball, so the count is 2-2 as it stands from the umpire. And a changeup goes a little high, ball 3. 3-2 now for Jensen. Jensen gets another one up there for the foul tip. And it fouls out of play, as you can hear in my microphone. And Richardson will keep the at-bat rolling.
Let's go, 6.
Bases loaded here for Richardson again. Full count. And a swing, strike 3. So 2 outs gone here for the Marauders off of the 4th strikeout of the night for Victoria Jensen. But now we have the big dynamo hitter once again by Kylie Ryan. Of course, Kylie Ryan has had kind of an uneventful night hitting the ball. In fact, she only has 1 hit on the night. The rest of her at-bats have been walks, as she calls time. Playing a few mind games here with Jensen to try and get a hit. Of course, who else do you want in this position? Bottom of the 5th inning with the run rule on the line. And Kylie Ryan with the bases loaded. Pendleton Heights looking for their 8th win in the last 11 meetings against the Marauders right here. 2 balls gone here for Victoria Jensen, who has pitched herself once again into another jam. This is the 2nd time this game that she has loaded the bases. And there is a high fly ball. Is it gone? Yes, it is! Kylie Ryan with the 2nd grand slam of the night for Pendleton Heights. And it wins it for the Arabians in the bottom of the 5th. How about that? The Pendleton Heights Arabians run rule the Marauders of Mount Vernon. Final score, 11-1 officially. The last run that counted had to be the runner at 3rd base. So officially 11-1 the final score here, but it still goes down as a grand slam for Kylie Ryan. What a play by the senior going to Butler University next year. Needless to say, the Butler coaching staff liking what they're seeing right there. Well, that'll do it for us here from Legends Field here in Pendleton, Indiana. Final score once again, 14-1. Thank you so much for joining us tonight for IHSAA softball action in the Hoosier Heritage Conference. Once again, I'm Kurt Darling saying so long till next time. You have been watching IHSAA softball here on NineStar TV and the ISC Sports Network.
High school football fans, welcome back to Friday nights, to pure spirits, to pure sports. Welcome back to high school football.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Friday night. This is Indiana high school football. This is your IHSAA.
Ball here. Harris scores. With 19 seconds remaining.
Fake players, big boy. I'm telling you right now, that's awesome. I love it.
That's the finish. You get a layup taken and an and one.